Welcome back, guys. Hope you're in the loop with all the ProZD stuff, because today we've got Bluesky defends ProZD and rages at everyone else. The ProZD thing frustrates me so much because, correct me if I'm wrong, but people are attacking him for absolutely no reason. If they knew what he was saying in context, there'd be no argument that the opinions he had were normal and not egregious leaps in logic people are placing on him. Bro, people are literally criticizing word for word the things that he said both on his own Twitter account and also on record in a video interview thing. So like, what do you mean not in context? We got this response that says, those people are quite literally and purposely misrepresenting him for their own agenda. It's a full-on hate campaign that these chuds love to spend their time on. It's calculated. Bro goes on record making a terrible take and people criticize it. And ProZD displays his own like massive double standards, but hey, it's out of context. It's a hate campaign. It's just chuds. Here's a thought: how about instead of being a hypocritical, virtue-signaling weirdo, he could just be a voice actor? You know? Oh, but unfortunately, in the English voice acting space, you kind of have to be a virtue-signaling, hypocritical weirdo to get with the in-click that so many of these Bluesky VAs are a part of, and force everyone else to be a part of too. It's how it is. Seeing what happened to ProZD, I don't blame the guy for leaving that terrible website called Twitter. The amount of bigoted scumbags. Bigoted, right? Yeah, bigoted. You want to talk about that? How about the dude who's like advocating for segregation in the VA industry? Yeah, as always, these people have no self-awareness. The amount of bigoted scumbags who put words into his mouth and take what he said out of context. Oh, another one trying to say it's out of context. Yeah, very original. To push their anti-woke narrative is frickin' disgusting. The guy deserves none of that. So apparently being against segregation and double standards and hypocrisy makes someone anti-woke. Okay, good to know, Bluesky. And then there's this one, ProZD should be allowed to RIP 5 people every day. Yeah, that one might actually be the most termly online of all the takes. But there's still plenty more. Check out this one. I think they are ultra mad because most of anti-woke grifter treat Asian people like pets, which they use to project their racist opinions on. What the frick is this typing, dude? So for on their man-child perspective, ProZD betrayed them and he needs to be punished for misbehaving. This is the weirdest frickin' headcanon you could have come up with, bro. Like, something's not right with you, dude. For the record, Asian people have also called out ProZD. For example, Mr. Philip Chan right here, the gentleman on the left, right next to ProZD on the right. Mr. Philip Chan made an entire video calling out ProZD, as a matter of fact. So yeah, you know, we've got a very diverse group of people criticizing ProZD, people from all over the world. But for some reason, Bluesky wants to try and pretend like it's only white people who criticize ProZD or something. You know, typical Bluesky rhetoric where they claim to be against bigotry, but ends up making the bigoted takes themselves effortlessly, as a matter of fact. They're just naturally like that, you know? Their natural habitat there on Bluesky, and what do? Just say bigoted things and have no self-awareness to realize it, of course. Like, they will gladly erase someone's minority status as soon as that person is not useful to their rhetoric over there. So ProZD made a post on Twitter saying he's leaving and mentioning all the weirdos who have an obsessive Hadeon, was that a Pokemon? A Hadeon for him, for misinterpreting a comment he made about diversity in voice acting. Misinterpreting. And it's people literally showing his take word for word, verbatim, on his like tweets that he made about it, and or showing what he said on record on a video and criticizing it. But hey, once again, it's misinterpreting, or as the other said, it's out of context, guys. Can you guess the type of comments he's getting? Frickin' heck, I just need to not even look at X anymore. I can't frickin' believe ProZD got jumped by right-wing nut jobs for playing a cartoon cracker, as if the what? Dude, all these people sound so unhinged. That's got to be a typo for character, right? For playing a cartoon cracker, as if those same Hitlerites. Bro, who comes up with this stuff? Oh my gosh. I'm not going to read the next part, dude. I hate when people type like that. It's so gross to me. It's just disgusting and vile, and like, these people have no class at all. And throw man-child tantrums. That's literally you, bro. That's literally this person throwing a man-child tantrum right here on screen. You can all see it for yourself. Look at this nonsense. What the frig is wrong with this person? Defending white voice actors' rights to exclusively voice every character that's a POC because of talent. Holy smokes, bro. I know it's overplayed, but yeah, go outside, dude. Go outside, touch grass. Like, what the frick? You turned your mind to mush with your political obsession, like your political brain rot. This is such a crazy thing to say. This whole take is just disgusting and crazy. cathartic to find out the lies people threw around about ProZD were predictably not true. And I feel nothing but hatred to the people who uncritically believe them and harassed the guy for years over stuff he literally did not say. Man, we got like a whole checklist now. People saying it's out of context, it's misrepresenting him, that people are just lying about what he said. And as I've said now, I'm sounding like a broken record. People have verbatim posted like what he said and criticized that. But over here on Bluesky, these people are so desperate they're the ones actually lying about this. They're so desperate to lie about what's happening, but they're trying to accuse everyone else of like lying and taking the dude out of context and misrepresenting him and all that. And it's like, bro, we've seen his tweets. They are right there on record. We have seen what he said on video. It's right there on record. I feel bad for my viewers now because I'm sounding like a broken record, but like, you all understand. I'm commenting on what these people are saying, and they continue to try and deny reality. That's what these people are doing. They're denying reality. It's a sad thing to see, really. Like, this is a very sad way of living, and that's what these people are like, day in, day out, 24/7. You know, that's the life that they live. It's sad. I just look forward to when they get mad at this video and they call me a Nazi over on Bluesky once again, just like they tried doing during the SAG-AFTRA arc when I was criticizing that union's corruption and the Bluesky VA clique and all that. And they tried to say, oh, Hero Hate's just a Nazi or blah, blah, blah. It's all right femboy propaganda, blah, blah, blah. And that part was actually kind of funny, not going to lie. That actually makes like pretty good content. So go ahead and get mad again and we'll make more content out of it. That'll be great. Thank you guys very much. ProZD leaving Twitter because he was fed up with people misinterpreting, exaggerating, and drama baiting has reminded me of this oldie but consistently relevanty. Bro, it's literally nothing like this screenshot at all. This is a completely different thing. And like ProZD's take is not even original. All he did was say the quiet part out loud, which is a standard that the English VA industry has been setting for years, that being the authentic casting thing. That's not something ProZD made up. I mean, it's, like I said, it's been going around for a long time in that industry, and all he did was speak about it, and then people rightfully criticized it, and now all these Bluesky users are in denial about it, despite the fact that not only did ProZD say that stuff, but it's also, as mentioned, just a standard that is used in the English VA industry. As I speak right now, it's still something that those creeps advocate for. And it's very telling that when people find out about authentic casting and rightfully criticize that policy, that none of these people have an actual good response about it. They have to try and say that people are just lying and or misrepresenting and or taking it out of context. It's a very desperate look. All these people trying to defend ProZD and authentic casting look extremely disingenuous and extremely desperate. Here's another one. So they talk about some Dana person, I don't even know who that is, but then they say ProZD does not deserve harassment by those Twitter racists. That app is beyond saving, all because of one big lie that someone twisted ProZD words. It's freaking disgusting. Plus, again, no matter the truth, it doesn't matter. What? The truth doesn't matter. Okay, yeah, right. It doesn't matter. It's freaking egotism that Twitter created. What are you even saying, bro? Listen to yourself. Like, that last part didn't even make any sense at all. And like, don't talk about ego when all these people on Bluesky can't take any criticism, and instead they have to try and like deny objective reality. So yeah, it's very obvious how these sort of people operate. When someone says something that's a good point that these people disagree with, they don't have any actual response of merit, so they resort to either one, throw the buzzwords, just call that person a racist or a Nazi or something. And that fails nowadays because people see through that nonsense and they know it's just like smears, like a smear campaign. And then on top of that, literally no one cares about being labeled these buzzwords anymore because they're just meaningless now. They've been watered down so much that people literally don't care. Oh, you called that person a Nazi, they don't care. Literally no one cares. Because, again, y'all have made this word mean nothing. Congratulations, great job. And so once their buzzwords don't work anymore, now they're just trying to say, oh, it's just lies. Oh, those people are just lying, misrepresenting. Oh, it's out of context. Because ultimately, like I said, they don't have any actual responsive merit to these things that they disagree with. And that person also made another tweet similarly saying, people freaked out over nothing on ProZD. And recently he quit Twitter because of the racism on Twitter, all because grifters twisted his words. This happened when he was casted in Knights of Guinevere, by the way. Yeah, no one's twisting anything, bro. Just stop, okay? It's just not working. It's not working, bro. You don't need to be a bootlicker for these corrupt VAs and these bigoted policies. You know, these people claim to be against bigotry, but they want to stop on the hill. They want it to all be over on the hill. of defending policies that are objectively bigoted. Yet another one. Twitter harassing ProZD off the site for something he didn't even say is peak Twitter behavior, unfortunately. We're gonna end with this thread from Dorian Scott, brave dude over here, who's actually going against the hive mind on Bluesky. This man saw that he'd be like the one dude in an army, well, not really an army because there's not that many people on Bluesky. This man saw the dozens of angry people on Bluesky and said, I don't care, I'm gonna post there anyways and call them out. So, yeah, let's take a look at what Dorian's got to say here. Be ProZD. Have a successful VA career. Post a really stupid comment on Twitter stating that characters should only be voiced by VAs that look just like them. Get denied a role because of your own ethnicity. Block anyone who rightfully calls you out on your ineptitude. Showcasing your hypocrisy by getting the role of a white character in an upcoming Glitch production. Point number 5 again. State that you'll leave Twitter because you can't handle the criticism. I mean, you brought this on yourself, and show and rev right there. Scratch that. I got more to say. Dorian continues. This quote-unquote authentic casting garbage does nothing except limit a VA's opportunities. Say you're a black guy who wants to voice a character from an anime. This pretty much limits you to only a few characters, as dark-skinned characters rarely pop up in a series. All ProZD had to do was shut his mouth, and nobody would have cared who he was voicing in future projects. The only thing that should matter in the VA industry is whether or not you're talented enough to be given a role. In fact, that's how it was for a long time. Think of Cleveland Brown. Up until 2020, he was voiced by Mike Henry, a white guy, who would voluntarily step down from his role because he too believes in authentic casting. Despite his replacement VA doing a great job, I still think it's idiotic to step down from a role you've had for nearly 30 years just because you prefer if the VA scene was segregated. And that's the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed this one. I sure had fun recording this. I look forward to seeing you in the comments, and if you enjoyed my coverage, please consider liking and or subscribing. Appreciate ya, and I'll see you in the next one.